Hey everybody, it's Randy with Carchaeology, and I wanted to give you an update on the Brubaker Box because so much has been going on with that, and finally it is here back in the lab where I can attack it and do the rest of the restoration. So as you've seen in some previous videos, I've had some help with putting this thing together. Obviously, Andrew and his buddy that came out that did body and paint. Sebastian did mechanical work, and Ben up the street has done all sorts of fabrication. Now, the rest of it I'm probably going to attack myself with the exception of the interior. I need to find somebody to do that. But really now it's at a point where I can attack it and I can put all the icing on the cake. But I wanted to show you some of the stuff that Ben has done and show you kind of where it's at. Plus, we were able to now get this thing up and running and driving. You saw that in previous videos. But now we can do it with an actual seat in there. And more and more it's becoming a car. So probably the biggest addition recently has been the bumpers. So the bumpers, these are fiberglass bumpers. I did a wood grain finish on these using a wood graining tool. And they came out fantastic. I'm really thrilled with that. Ben made the rear bumper mount on here, which is really super sturdy. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's going to work out well. He also backed the bumper with an iron bar in there as well, so it's got a little bit extra oomph, which is fantastic. We also did a battery mount in here. Ben fabbed up a little bracket for this aluminum Odyssey battery case to go on there. So that is there, which is great. And we were missing part of the knob here. So originally the little button that's in here had an insert and a key that was from an early Datsun Z. And apparently those parts are pretty hard to find. And so rather than deal with that, I just wanted to figure out something that might be kind of fun, kind of period, and kind of cool looking. So Ben fabbed up a rod that went through there into a handle on the inside. So this little disc right here, this was a leftover from the Mercedes project when we were trying to replace some missing pieces for the top irons. This was a leftover disc from that, and so he put a rod on that goes to the inside. So you simply push on the button, the door releases, and then it slides open. And what I love about it is it's got a real modern look to it, certainly in keeping with the period of what the car is all about. Unfortunately, it's not lockable, but we can play around with that if we need to. Now, he also created a handle on the inside that was completely missing. You can see this here. This lever simply goes up and down to release. And I'm really happy with the way that came out. Super simple. So another thing Ben did was to weld up some brackets for the seats. So now the seats are mounted in there. We also did some work here. Ben did a new lid for the top of the ice box here. We actually created that out of an old road sign that I had. And also some patching of the tray that's in there. So there's still finished work that needs to be done, as well as some insulation and things like that. The other thing Ben did was he cut down the shifter on here so that it's down much lower, a lot more even with the seats, makes it a lot easier to get in there without impaling yourself. And probably the most drastic and interesting modification here was to modify the pedal assembly so that it actually frickin' works. Move that antenna wire out of the way so you can see what's going on here. So the fitting of a barefoot gas pedal I think is super cool. I'm loving that. We shortened the pedals here so they've got a little shorter throw, and then there's a footrest here so that the feet can actually be elevated, which is awesome. And another thing that Ben worked out was an adapter for the fuel tank and the lid here. So the fuel tank kind of ends deep inside there. We had to find something that was going to work out that would allow fairly easy access to it. And so this guy here, this little pop-up thing, is going to be great. And it ended up being nice and super clean. I think once I paint this inset here in that bottom rocker black, it'll look even more amazing. So what is next for the Brubaker box? Well, I've got to install the rear window. Need to work out interior stuff, some further detailing. Ben fabbed up some little grills to go down here under the engine lid and also inside the front bumper as well. Got to do a color sand and buff and really kind of trim it all out. So I managed to find some green shag carpet that I'm going to try on the inside here. I've got to refinish the dash, get some speakers and stuff in there, as well as fabricate a missing piece of the interior that goes right underneath that window there on the driver's side. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that. I might have to shape it out of foam first and then fiberglass over the top of that. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe I'll call in an expert. But in any case, Brubaker Box is up on its wheels. I'm super thrilled with that. It was fun to boot it around the neighborhood a little bit. And it's going to be even more fun now to do all the pretty bits, what I like to call the icing on the cake that turns it into, hopefully, a very pleasing showpiece. Thanks very much for watching. I'm off to Scottsdale to the auctions now. I will definitely take some footage and do some shorts and stuff from the auctions there in Scottsdale. It's going to be super fun. I'm going to do my best not to come home with anything. I'm not bringing anything out there to sell, but I am definitely looking forward to playing with my car friends out there and seeing some of the most amazing cars in the world run across the block and find new homes. Until then, keep on digging them up and driving them. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.